Hey there, 12 Sports digital producer Jeff Vinton here with Jeremy Ware, a two-time world record holder with the Guinness Book of World Records. Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. First off, let's just tell the people a bit about yourself and how you got into breaking world records.
Okay. I'm from Cheyenne, Wyoming. I've been in Arizona for the last 8 years. And then though I randomly got into breaking world records because I used to play college basketball, and I ended up getting really good at doing backwards half court trick shots. And I've been doing that for about 13 years or so. And I kind of got to the point to where I was like, you know what, there's got to be, something else that I can do to add flair, switch it up a little bit. And so I found that there was a world record for the world's farthest basketball shot made backwards. And then so I actually went out to a park one day, measured off the old record, and on the third try, I actually made it. So I was like, oh wow, I've got something going here. So I reached out to Guinness, was able to get my application in and get that set up. And that's kind of what made me break that first record. And then as I was in the process of, getting that approved and whatnot, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, is there anything else that I do that's kind of, I guess, challenging for like the average person? And I actually started squatting on exercise balls when I was 12 years old. I was like, that's something that a lot of people don't really do. I haven't really hardly seen anybody. Actually, I haven't seen anybody at all do it in person besides myself. So I went through, the Book of World Records and saw that there was not a record for it. Excuse me, there was. However, the record was 30 squats in 1 minute. And then same thing. I went to the gym and practiced a little bit, and on the first try, I was able to beat the record. So then I was like, okay, I can definitely break this one too. That's kind of what made me, I guess, get into the process of breaking records. But so that's how kind of how that came about in a quick recap.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you got into the whole backwards half court shooting kind of randomly. Was that something you like your college teammates, you guys would just do at practice? Like, how did you get started doing that?
So being from Cheyenne, Wyoming, I'm right by Denver, Colorado. So growing up, I used to watch all the Denver Nuggets games. My dad used to always take me to the games. It was just a great thing and fun thing to be a part of. And as you know from being from Fort Collins, Colorado yourself, Rocky, the Denver Nuggets mascot, at the end of the third quarter or like in the middle of the fourth quarter, he would always go to half court and shoot a backwards shot and get
Mm.
the crowd going if you made it. And then sometimes he would do the stunt where he's like on a huge ladder, like 30 feet in the air, and he would throw it off the ladder and still make it. So I always saw that and always kind of gravitated towards that and just thought that was something that was kind of cool and whatnot. And then so fast forward to when I'm an adult playing basketball in college, my freshman year, like we didn't really have like hazing, so to speak. So every now and then one of the freshmen would be in charge of like the team's laundry. So when it was my week to do like laundry for hazing, instead of like going back and forth between like the arena to like my dorm room or whatever, I would just stay there. So I would stay in there. I would do my shooting workouts, my ball handling workouts, weight training, and then I'd still have time left. So instead of going back, I would just stay in there and I just started doing trick shots, like just stuff I knew I would never do in a basketball game. And that's kind of where I got started. And, I played at Colorado Christian my first 2 years or my first two
Mm.
seasons. So I was in Denver. So obviously being there, I was like, I'm going to try Rocky shot. And, I started making them and I got pretty good at it. And just I stayed consistent with it. And this was before like the smartphone era. So, I was just doing it all the time. And then eventually smartphones became prevalent. And then Snapchat came out and then Snapchat video came out. So I was having people record me. Then it got to the point to where I was like, I'm always in the gym by myself. I'm pretty much a gym rat, even still to this day. So I'm like, I'm always in the gym by myself. So I started filming myself, just holding a selfie and then throwing it backwards. And yeah, like I said, I got really good at it. And it's something that's pretty automatic for me. I can usually make it within the first like 2 to 3 tries, if not on the first try. So it's almost like shooting a free throw, kind of.
That's super cool. Yeah, I love super mascot Rocky. It's so cool to hear that he was such a like inspiration kind of to you and like just helping you just on this journey to the Guinness Book of World Records, which is I mean, I grew up reading that book, so it was super cool to hear that. I'm curious just what brought you to Arizona.
So when I was in 2015, after I got done playing in college, one of my teammates and best friends, he's from here. So I ended up moving out here with him for a little bit just to, so I didn't want to go back to the snow. I was like, I've been in the snow my entire life. I grew up in Wyoming, played in Colorado for a little bit, played in the Midwest for my last 2 years. And was just like, you know what, let's try something different. So I ended up coming out to Arizona, middle of June. It was like 120. It's like the worst time to come out here, but he was like, just bear with me, you'll get through it, and you can see how beautiful the winters are. And so I liked it. I ended up staying out here for a little bit. I was coaching a high school basketball team for a little bit, and then I actually graduated with my bachelor's in accounting. So I ended up getting an accounting job, and I've been here ever since. So I fell in love with the state and the city, and I never went back. So I'll go visit every now and then, but I don't plan on moving. So.
You had a really cool moment when you broke your first world record. You were on the court in San Antonio with the Spurs cheerleaders and the mascot. How did that come about?
So just another random connection. So when I was at Colorado Christian, my same friend that lives out here, and now somebody that we went to all when we went to school with, we all know each other. This person that works for the Spurs, and then so I actually had reached out to the Phoenix Suns. I reached out to U of A, ASU, GCU, all of the schools and places that had arenas in this Southwest region, including Denver, to everybody said no, they were too busy, and some of them just didn't get back to me at all.
Mhm.
So I kind of a last resort, I was like, I know so and so, and they were for the Spurs. So I said, hey, like, you've seen my shots the last like 12 years or so. This is what I got going on. I'm already know I'm going to break it. I just need a venue. Do you think you guys would be interested? And they were interested right away. So they asked their boss, and their boss was like, yeah, like let's fly him out here and give him tickets to a game, and the arena's his. So I had the arena for 3 hours on Sunday, January 29th of 2023, and I got it done in 30 minutes. And after that, I was just running around the arena like a big kid in a candy store, just doing like imaginary game winners and dunking on the baskets and stuff. And
Mhm.
just anything that every kid would imagine, would wish to do that wanted to be in an NBA when they're younger, as I did myself.
Yeah. I think your story is just it's so cool to just see where you started, where you've come to. What advice do you have for kids just who may be reading the Guinness Book of World Records and may think that, they want to break one day? What advice do you have to them?
Just always believe in yourself. I'm not gonna lie, breaking the records were pretty challenging. Both of them were. I know that I had a long history in both fields that I broke my record, so it made it a little bit easier, I guess, so to speak. But they're definitely challenging. You just always gotta believe in yourself. If you ever get down and discouraged, just keep pushing. Don't let your self-talk be positive. Don't beat yourself up. Obviously be your biggest critic, but also be your biggest fan of yourself. And obviously being realistic as far as your expectations and goals, but just to always be optimistic, and always believe yourself. So whether you say that you can or you can't, you're right. So like if I say I can't do this, then I'm right. I'm not going to get it done because that there's so much of it that's mental that plays into what manifests of what you actually do. Well, that's how I feel at least. So.
Yeah. And then just, moving forward, I'm sure you got plans for a third world record. What's next?
You know what? I have plans for like a third and a fourth. I'm not really sure if the third one's not really feasible. I tried it and it was tough. That one wouldn't be something that nobody's ever done before.
Mhm.
And it was really struggle or challenging for myself. The fourth one, we'll see how it goes. This one's a little bit physical as well. So I need to make sure I keep taking care of my body and make sure my body's trained properly ready to go for this one if I were to get it done. But this one's gonna be pretty challenging as well. But I mean, we'll see, man. If I was telling some of my family and friends, like, if I don't set anymore, I'm completely content with two. Like, I
Mhm.
was blessed enough to get one. I mean, even though I had two planned right away, which is kind of random, but I was blessed enough just to get the one, and I was really excited with that one. And then with the second one that I have now, I'm completely fine with those two. So I mean, if the next two, if I don't get them done, then it's no big deal for me.
Yeah. Do you have any hints as to what those next two are, or do you
Nah.
want to keep them secret?
Nah, nothing I want to share because I don't
Oh,
want to put
okay.
something out there and then just not get it done. I mean, I'm really big on standing on my word, and if it comes out of my mouth, I want to get it done. So yeah, there's nothing I want to put out there for everybody else to know at the moment. So
It's totally fine. Just absolute curiosity. Is there anything else that you just want to share about your story, about yourself, the work that you've done to get to where you are? Just anything I didn't ask you?
randomly, I was voted most likely to break a world record in high school. So when I broke the first record, like that had nothing to do with me wanting to break a record. Like I completely forgot about that. It was locked in the back of my memory. Like I completely forgot up until I was going through the process. And I was like, wait a minute, I think I was voted most likely to break a world record. And then so I had my mom look at my yearbook and yeah, and I was. So there's a photo, I'll have to text it to you. But I have a yearbook photo of me saying, I was most likely to break a world record. So that was pretty cool. Like I said, it had nothing to do with me actually wanting to break one. It just happened to be something that came about and happened to be true. So I guess thanks to my classmates that voted me that, but I had no idea. Like, that was never in my plans. Like I'd always just wanted to make the NBA or be like an NBA referee or like do something in player development or just kind of stay towards that path. Um, but then yeah, I think that's about it for that. I mean, just it was really fun. I really enjoyed the process of training and just being in, grind mode as an ex-athlete. And any athlete will tell you like, once your time is up, like it never really goes away. Like mentally, you're always ready to compete. Like, you put your entire life into something and then for it to just stop, it's a little tough going into the real world and just working a job and not having that aspect of your life be around anymore. So when I was deciding to train for these records and make it a real thing, it was so enjoyable just going through the process and like the daily grind of waking up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. and going to the gym and getting my body right or doing whatever I needed to do to make myself feel confident to being able to achieve these records. Like that was a lot of fun. Like a lot of the fun was in the journey itself.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have for you, Jeremy. Thank you so much for doing this. And I just wish you good luck with those next two world records, the world record chases, whatever they may be. And I'm hoping I get to hear that you break another one soon. Because, I mean, hearing two in 1 year, that's incredible. So
Yeah,
I
that
can only
was that
imagine
was a
what the
lot.
future holds.
I appreciate it, Jeff.